In today's Leeds news, Farke future decision, Darlow back to business, culture building, bonuses and not falling apart, and rumour mill stories on Mohamed, Amoura and Matt Targett. Hey folks, welcome to the Leeds View for Friday the 17th of April with your Leeds United news. Hope you're all having a really good week so far and you're ready for tomorrow's game against Wolverhampton Wanderers, which has real expectation and real pressure on it and shouldn't be taken for granted that Leeds are going to get a result there at all. We all hope and pray that they will get the result that we need to push us a big step forward to staying in the Premier League for next season. We will have a watch along over on bigup.com. You can check that out if you want to. The predictions are open and available for everyone over there. There's a link down below in the description. You can click on that and head over if you want to. There's also the link in the description below for the Fans FanPark that is happening in Leeds at the O2 Academy for the FA Cup semi-finals. If you didn't get a ticket, there's over 2,000 fans going to be there. I'm likely to be there as well. We're possibly doing a live watch along from there as well, so you can get involved in that if you want to. There's a bit of stuff to get stuck into today. We'll start off though with Daniel Farke's future. This is always likely to come back around. It's been the talk of most of the season what Leeds were going to do with Daniel Farke, and we're coming into the summer where he's got 1 year left on his contract. So whether you love Daniel Farke or you don't love Daniel Farke, this was always likely to be a discussion point coming into this summer. The fact that he is going into his final year of his contract, there was going to be some level of talk at some point about what his future looks like. There were reports earlier this season that Daniel Farke was on thin ice with the 49ers Enterprises after that really poor run of form at the start of the season. Turned that around, changed the system, changed the approach, and went on a really strong run. But according to Team Talk, it has come from Team Talk, they say that at this point now, Leeds United plan to stick with Daniel Farke into next season. They're happy with the job that has been done this season. If, and there's a caveat to this, Leeds United can secure the Premier League status in the next couple of games. And Leeds have a huge opportunity to do that tomorrow against Wolverhampton Wanderers. The players have been speaking about this. Daniel Farke has been speaking about this. He said that we shouldn't take this for granted. It's not necessarily a given. Karl Darlow spoke about that, and we'll get to that in a couple of minutes' time. But they're right. This is a different game to Manchester United. It has a different level of expectation attached to it. And the players have to respond a certain way, as does the manager. But this report on Farke's future says that talk internally about replacing Daniel Farke has now been scrapped, and the club are going to move forward with Daniel Farke into next season. Now, one bit of detail that is missing from this report is whether Daniel Farke will be getting an extension to his current deal. He's got, as I say, 1 year left going into next season. It's not clear whether they're going to offer him an extension in the summer or look to run that out until the end of next season, see how next season goes in the Premier League before making a longer-term decision on Daniel Farke's future. Now, this is coming from Team Talk. It could be true. It might not be true, but it is going to be a discussion point. Again, more so because there's 1 year left on his deal than anything else coming into this summer. But there you go. It started now. We'll see what happens over the next couple of months. But move on. Sticking with the expectation for the Wolverhampton Wanderers game on Saturday, Karl Darlow was speaking with BBC, and he's looking ahead to the game on Saturday. And he says that Leeds United need to get back to business, and the players and the management know the job isn't done yet. Still work to do. It would be a very easy thing to beat Manchester United at Old Trafford and then lose to Wolverhampton Wanderers at Ellen Road and make it a bit more sticky. So huge opportunity tomorrow to get a result. But Darlow doesn't believe that this game against Wolves is any different to the match against Manchester United. He believes the players need to approach it the same way. He needs to attack it the same way and go about their job and get the job done. And if you look at Wolverhampton Wanderers' results over the last couple of months, outside of the 4-0 hammering to West Ham in their last league game, they've either lost by the odd goal or gotten some points. They've beaten Liverpool at Anfield, so they've gotten some points against sides that are in decent positions in the Premier League. And that a lot of that, and Daniel Farke touched on it yesterday, is down to the fact that they're probably resigned to being relegated. They're on 17 points. They're not going to stay in the league. And a lot of these players are either playing for their future or playing with pressure off at this point, and that shouldn't be taken for granted. But speaking to BBC Leeds, Karl Darlow had the following to say. It's another game. We know we need to be straight back on it on Saturday. That's the mentality that we have to have. Nothing is done yet. We've not achieved anything yet. Yeah, we had a really special night on Monday, which we've enjoyed for a couple of days, but now it's back to business time again, and we have to get back on with it and hopefully secure another 3 points. Darlow also pointed to the fact that the Leeds squad have to block out all of the noise that is coming from other sides in and around the relegation battle, what everyone is considering, who's in the battle, who's not on it, who's going down this week, who's not going down this week, and all the fans' expectation. They need to block out all of that noise and maintain the levels that they put in so far this season. And at big moments, they've received big results. He also was asked about Leeds FA Cup and the chance of getting into an FA Cup final and what that would mean to him and to the Leeds United squad. And he said, look, if Leeds can stay in the Premier League and if Leeds can get to an FA Cup final, it'll be a very special year for the club. But it's not done yet and they still have work to do. So I like the fact that they're still focused. And again, the approach tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting. Can Leeds attack this game rather than try and tippy-tappy their way to a result? And if Wolves come at us and play with a bit of freedom, that might suit Leeds perfectly. Let's talk about some culture building. Mike Keegan in the Daily Mail has a piece covering lots of little different areas around the club, a little peel back of the curtain about what's been going on at Leeds over the last couple of years, and spoke about a culture behind the scenes and what Leeds have been trying to build. And there's a couple of areas to this that he has spoken about. This piece goes all the way back to Leeds losing the playoff final against Southampton and the discussions that Ethan Ampadu had with the club directly after that about the new season and bonuses from the club. So as the club captain, Ethan Ampadu represents the squad when they're talking and negotiating the players' bonuses for a season. And when he did sit down with the hierarchy at the club, he basically said that they wanted a unified bonus for the club so that everybody was pushing in the same direction, and they only wanted a bonus if Leeds United got promoted. So they missed out. They didn't get a penny extra. And that was said to be something that the Leeds officials were very impressed with. Keegan also points out in this article that Ampadu and Daniel Farke have been trying to work on team building and a culture building behind the scenes at Leeds. And they've used the flying pizza regularly for what they've labelled as culture building. It's known to be a Leeds United player haunt. It's an Italian restaurant. They say it's a deliberate move by the Leeds United captain to try and build that culture off the pitch, which they've spoken about a huge amount this season, the character of the individuals within that squad. The other aspect that came into this was the Leeds falling apart narrative. And apparently, well, it's not apparently, it's really, really clear. Players don't like it, and the manager doesn't like it, and they want to change it. And Daniel Farke has said that there is a desire to get rid of that narrative around Leeds, and he wants the players to deliver when it counts and for the side to be motivated. But as always with Daniel Farke, stay humble as well. And this season, they have broken some Leedsy traits. The West Ham United game is a prime example of that. I think once they got back to 2-2, we all thought, we're going to Leedsy this now, or we're going to end up losing this. We didn't. Manchester United, when they scored that goal against 10 men, we're going to Leedsy this, and we didn't. Even little statistics like, a player comes off the bench and hasn't scored in 2 years and he's going to score against Leeds. Even those ones have been broken this season. So they've gone a long way to do that. Obviously, there's a lot more work to do, but good that they want to get rid of that, because I think we'd all like to see the back of that one if we can. The other area around this was the FA Cup and the allocation for tickets, and also the desire and demand for tickets on this. And they basically, Daniel Farke said that he believes the Leeds United could have easily sold 70,000 tickets for Wembley outside of the 33,350 allocation that they were given. It's a real shame that these games have over 20,000 tickets being given to commercial partners. I understand commercial partners have to get something, but over 20,000 tickets is absolutely a massive amount and only impacts on an atmosphere in a stadium. It's a real shame that they couldn't get that. But again, if you didn't get a ticket for that, you can check out the For the Fans FanPark that will be in the O2 Academy in Leeds for the FA Cup semi-final. So yeah, going through this whole article, I think there's some really good standout areas that are very visible to us as fans as well. We've clearly seen that this side is united behind the scenes. We know that Daniel Farke and Ethan Ampadu consistently talk about character, about the dressing room, about adding the right people and not allowing the wrong people into that dressing room to try and protect it. So yeah, fingers crossed, and hopefully that will carry on into this weekend. We've got a bit of rumour mill territory to get stuck into. Get your salt ready, because there's some, we'll find out. We get into it in a second. Right, two here. One Ryan Kent territory, but we'll start off with the first one. It's Mohamed Amoura, and there's been a ton of strikers linked with Leeds United over the last couple of months leading into this summer's transfer window, but a couple of names are starting to come back around a few times and been mentioned by different publications, not necessarily aggregating, but reporting slightly different aspects. Tabakovic has been one of them. Troy Parrott is another one consistently linked with Leeds, and Bergrawi is another one that's been regularly linked over the past couple of months. But another one that started to come back around from January is Mohamed Amoura. Now, Amoura was linked with Leeds back in January. At that point, it was said to be interest. Leeds didn't make a formal move for the player. Leeds were focused on trying to bring in Jurgen Strand Larsen at that point. Didn't happen. According to L'Equipe in France, They claim that Leeds United have real interest in Wolfsburg striker Mohamed Amoura. Now, he's 5'6" in height, so he's not exactly what Leeds are looking for from a target man perspective. But we've talked again over the last couple of months about Leeds possibly looking for different profiles of striker if Joel Piroe is to move on. He does fall into that Troy Parrott kind of bracket, but without the goal return that Troy Parrott has got this season, although Parrott's goals have come in the Eredivisie, Amoura's goals have come in the Bundesliga. He's got 8 goals and 3 assists this season, which isn't a huge outlay for 21 games, but he did get 10 goals and 9 assists last season. And before he joined Wolfsburg, he played for Union Saint-Gilloise, and he got 22 goals and 8 assists in his last season there. He's 25 years of age. The issue here for me is the fee that's being mentioned. They're saying 27 million euro is being touted as the asking price, which is about, 25 million pounds. It's a lot of money for 8 goals and 3 assists this season, but it is in the Bundesliga, and players that Leeds have brought in from the Bundesliga have done well. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's coming from L'Équipe. They can be hit and miss. Sometimes they're bang on the money with stuff. Sometimes they're way off with things as well. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Again, add them to the list. We'll see. Now, the next one is the Ryan Kent Memorial transfer link, and this is very much in his territory, and it's Matt Targett. He has been linked with Leeds United multiple times, every transfer window over the last 2 or 3 seasons, and it's back on the table again as a rumoured link. Team talk, so look, chunk of salt. They claim that Leeds United and Everton are both interested in Matt Targett, who is currently on loan at Middlesbrough and having a really good season for them. He's been called out for a lot of praise in what they've done this year, and from left back, he's got 4 goals and 3 assists. He obviously is on loan from Newcastle. His contract at Newcastle is up at the end of this season, so he will be a free agent. And Leeds are said to be interested in him in order to try and bring in cover for Gabby Goodmunson. Now, as I say, he's received a lot of praise this season for his performances. He's had a pretty injury enough free season, so he's played a lot of games this year. 36, 38 games, I think it's in and around that. He has missed a few, but not a huge amount. But he is 30 years of age, so doesn't fit into the normal 49ers bracket unless they're looking at bringing in a bit of experience that can just add cover there. Maybe in the Sam Byron mold, free transfer. Don't know how I feel about that one. He has had a lot of injuries over the last couple of years as well, but again, the Leeds medical team have been brilliant at sorting that out. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. You can let me know down below if you think Matt Targett is a good option for Leeds as a squad player, because that's exactly what I think he'd be coming in as. Free transfer, is it a smart move to bring him in for nothing and have that cover there and focus then on other area of the parks with your money? You can let me know down below. Outside of that, folks, there will be a bonus podcast out tonight. I'll be chatting with Harvey Marcus from Paris 75 documentary, a year on from the launch of that documentary, as more dates are being added to go and see that. We'll give you that detail later on tonight. Outside of that, I'll be back tomorrow over on bigup.com and then back on YouTube for the instant match reaction. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon, and fingers crossed for 3 points tomorrow. See you later.